Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one was sent in by the Gobbo King, and I know you always enjoy a good Gobbo replay. So here you can see he's playing as the Empire, and he's against Chaos, and he doesn't have a lot of infantry, does he? Does he have any? Nope, none. No, it's all cav. It's all cav. And I guess a Griffin. Does that count as cavalry? I don't know. A Griffin and cavalry. So, Karl Franz and the cavalry. With a K, I guess. So anyway, yeah, he's against Chaos. So what do you need against Chaos? You need something to scare away all those awful Marauder Horsemen. And he has that. He has Pistoliers. These guys super cost effective against Marauder Horsemen because they don't need any, like, AP to damage any of them because crappy armor on Marauder Horsemen. So Pistoliers are great. They can outrun them too, so they're perfect there. Also some Outriders, just in case there are some big monsters that you want to get some damage into before you engage with everything else. You also want something to deal with all the chaff, and he has that. He has Empire Knights. So the Empire Knights be able to get some good charges into just sort of Marauders, you know, just Chaos Marauders, just rubbish crap like that to help whittle things down, because if you don't have a very big army, if the other person does, they can just surround you, get a load of your units caught up, bog you down, take hits that you want to be on more valuable targets, and yeah, it can just drag you down. So just having a couple of Empire Knights just to get the odd little charge into something cheaper, whittle the numbers down a bit, perfect. Also, Karl Franz, he's great for clearing out a lot of the chaff because on a Griffin, he has the Blood Roar, so that's -8 leadership, and he also causes fear and terror, so he can just dumpster leadership so quickly. And with all cavalry, you have the maneuverability advantage, so you can get rear charges into things. So absolutely superb, and of course he hits so hard that that will tank leadership a lot too. If he dives down and hits something, it's going to hurt a lot, and that tends to get people terrified a hell of a lot quicker. So Karl Franz is great here. Also, though, Karl Franz, he can't heal, so if he's just going to get hit by a billion Spirit Leeches or a billion Axes from Marauder Horsemen or something, you're going to want to heal him up, so that's why there's a Jade Wizard. So the Jade Wizard here, only 2 spells. Here, he's got the Awakening of the Wood, which actually does very little damage to most units that are going to be fielded here. It's not very good AP, but it's -48% speed, so that means anything that might be able to catch up to anything, you can just get rid of it, you know. Just go, nope, you stay there, and it won't be able to catch up to you. So that is really useful for the slow, but also he has the heal of Earthblood, so he can heal up big blobs of units, which is really nice. So if he's got a ton of demigryphs all sat on top of each other, boom. So also, you need demigryphs with halberds, don't you? You want your anti-large and your armor piercing. You could use guns, but when you got all cav and no infantry, you can't really protect your guns so well. So you're not going to bother with that. That's going to make a beeline for them. No, the demigryph knights with halberds, they will be able to take down the big armored scary monsters, which are very common for chaos. So that's something. But they could get dragged down by infantry. So what do you want? You want to... Nope. You want even more demigryphs without halberds. These guys have great armor piercing, so they can deal with chaos warriors and things really well. So there's just a great spread here. It's absolutely superb. And he's got all the tools he needs. He can deal with the big stompy monsters, he can deal with the chaff, and he can heal up, and he can terrify, and he can deal with the Marauder Horsemen that would damage all the stuff that is very good at dealing with the chaff and the big scary monsters. So he's got everything covered. So his opponent here, he also seems to have everything covered to an extent. So here you can see he's got a load of Chaos Marauders and Warriors. He's got a couple of units of Chaos Trolls, luckily not the armoured ones, so the Pistoliers can pester them a fair bit too. And with their low leadership, Karl Franz could probably terrify them away pretty quickly, because they're some of the only things with mass in here that could bog him down, or any of the cavalry in fact. But he does have some Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes on either side. These will be great for dealing with things like Franz, but of course he has the counter to that. He has the Pistoliers that can shoot into them and whittle them down nice and quickly. So that's super useful. Also here you can see he has Sartorial the Everwatcher, so some great spells on him always. So Plague of Rust is brilliant when you want to bog things down, and it means things like Chaos Warriors can get a lot more damage into things. Also here you can see Dragon Ogres, great armor piercing and anti-large, great for dealing with cavalry, but they are quite low model counts. So if you just surround them with a ton of things like demigryphs with halberds, they get chopped down so fast. So they're going to have to try and keep behind all the infantry, and the infantry is obviously going to get whittled down by cavalry. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a whole rock, paper, scissors thing going on. But the thing is, Gobbo has the maneuverability. He only needs to get into an engagement if he wants it. Also here, a chariot, which is pointless now. He's got some mass, so might be able to trap something, but it's anti-infantry. It's not going to do great against an entire cavalry army. So let's speed things up. So over here you can see Chaos Marauders getting a couple of shots into the back of them. Over here too, but the Pistoliers and the Outriders, they do really want to make sure they're whittling down things like the Trolls or the Dragon Ogres or of course the Marauder Horsemen. Throwing axes, you really want to whittle them down. So you can see the Pistoliers are coming in to try and get some early shots, and all the infantry is trying to push away all the skirmish cav while he keeps his own cavalry and the more soft, expensive units like the Chaos Trolls and the Dragon Ogres a little bit further back, which is why. So you can see a scroll of leeching has been used on Karl Franz. So not entirely sure why, but why not? Why not? So here you can see Empire Knights starting to clip the heels a bit. You can see the Chaos Marauders took quite a bit of damage there, and the Empire Knights have basically taken none in return. But Warhounds and throwing axes are starting to skirt around. And of course, the throwing axes can get rid of Empire Knights very, very quickly. So yeah, you got to watch out there. So over here, same thing happening. Empire Knights charging in, getting some great damage into the Chaos Marauders, and then they're going to try and get out of there. And luckily, they do have the mass to just push through, so you don't have to worry about the Chaos Marauders catching too many of these units. They will keep pushing. But again, same thing over here. You got the Hounds to catch them, and you've got the throwing axes to whittle them down. It's pretty rough. So over here you can see Karl Franz actually dived in here to try and help terrify these Chaos Marauders. Other units are trying to push in, but that just means that the Empire Knights can try and get a nifty little flank here, catching out those Marauder Horsemen and hopefully killing a few of them. Sartorial is charging in to try and cancel this out. Plague of Rust lowering their armor, which means Sartorial's going to be able to hit a lot harder, and he's struggling. But Sartorial is pinned down a bit, and it means Karl Franz can go for them. The Hounds are trying to keep Karl Franz tied to the ground, while the Marauder Horsemen and the Chaos Trolls push in, but you can see Gobbo is pretty much giving up his Empire Knights here, knowing that if he can just keep Franz on Sartorial, he's great, but as soon as these Trolls push through these Empire Knights, they're going to get on top of Karl Franz and let Sartorial escape. So the Empire Knights are staying in this engagement to hold this stuff back. So now they are starting to pull out. Now there's been a ton of damage on Sartorial, and he's about to escape. Terror has hit those Chaos Hounds, and a lot of the army is trying to wheel around, but I mean, look at this. Just the maneuverability. Those Empire Knights they were trying to catch over here, they've just left. They're all just getting out of the way. Over here, Piercing Bolts does actually do a ton of work to things like Pistoliers if it can hit. So over here, Awakening of the Wood, slowing down these Chaos Warriors and these Chariots, and that means they're not about to get into this fight so quickly. And here you can see Chaos Trolls have been terrified, but sadly they did come back pretty quickly. They weren't able to be routed completely, but now the Empire Knights charging in the back. Sartorial is coming in to try and bail them out. Chaos Trolls are coming in, trying to pin down Franz. And Earthblood keeping these guys in the fight. The Trolls are out, and it means Franz can get more hits on Sartorial. So a load more units are trying to come in, but the Dragon Ogres are still quite a ways away. They're trying to catch up, and now they're getting shot at by the Pistoliers and the Outriders. They're going to start getting whittled down a bit, and there's no healing for them. And over here you can see the Pistoliers are shooting into the Marauder Horsemen while they're stuck in combat, because it's good to whittle them down. Although they've used about half their ammunition right now, that's still enough to do a ton of work to Karl Franz if he's, if they're able to. So Karl Franz, you can see Plague of Rust has been using him to lower his armor, so a lot of other units can do more damage to him, but he's doing alright here. He's doing alright, although some axe is coming in now. So he escaped, so Plague of Rust isn't going to be as impactful. So over here, Demigryph Knights charging in, deal with the Dragon Ogres. They aren't the ones with the Halberds. The Halberds are behind. They're coming in a second too. Pistoliers whittling down these units that have returned and have been slightly rallied. And once again, Chaos Warriors getting slowed down by Awakening of the Wood, so they can't join this melee. So, over here you can see Demigryph Knights with Halberds pushing into a load of these Chaos Warriors. Demigryphs, more Empire Knights, they're all just getting a nice sandwich, trying to get rid of a lot of this chaff that can bog things down. So over here you can see the Empire Knights are still in the fight, and these are the ones that were almost basically sacrificed. And the Dragon Ogres lost half their health in this engagement. A load of units are starting to follow up, but Franz has done a ton of work to pretty much everybody. Sartorial is nearly dead at 1300 health, and over here Piercing Bolt is whittling down those Empire Knights quite well, but Pistolier is still getting some withering fire into these units, and that is pretty useful. Those Chaos Trolls will get terrified again very soon. Sadly, though, these Empire Knights are finally broken, but I mean, they've been used so cavalier. Get it? Because they're cavalry. Anyway, they've been used very cavalier, just running in, just no concern at all. Just if they're going to die, who cares, is letting Franz do what he wants. But here, you can see, he is taking quite a bit of damage. And sadly, so are these Demigryph Knights. With the Plague of Rust, it means these Chaos Warriors can do a lot of work, but these Chaos Trolls have been broken. These ones are very injured, but of course, every time they recover, they're just going to regenerate. So unless you can kill some of the models off, it is going to be quite tough. And sadly here, the Dragon Ogres were able to catch these Demigryphs, and that is backbreaking. Luckily, a load of the guns are shooting the Dragon Ogres, and over here, the Empire Knights and the Demigryph Knights have managed to get to these Chaos Marauders just to finish them off, which is very nice. You just want to keep clipping these guys. They will get in the way of your cavalry, or just, you know, get behind you. They'll just be a nuisance. They'll take hits when the more expensive units can be taking hits. You just want to trim them away best you can, whenever you can. So piercing bolts over here, but the Pistoliers have mostly evaded it, but they will still lose a few models there, I think. So, yep, lost 5 models. See, it's not half bad. And now they have run out of ammunition, which is a real pity. And now Karl Franz has dived in again. Now this is a very, very bad idea, because the Dragon Ogres are right there, the Chaos Chariots are adding some more mass, and Sartorial's able to get out of there. But it does mean that all these units are grouped up around Karl Franz, who, of course, does have the Blood Roar, does have the Terror, and now all the Demigryph Knights are charging in from every direction, and these guys are taking quite a bit of damage. But with so many Chaos Warriors still in this fight, the charge basically just hit them. The Dragon Ogres, the Chariots, all these units got off fairly scot-free. So Pistoliers are charging in now just to bog this stuff down, while more units are charging in the other way, trying to catch out Sartorial. Here you can see these Marauder Horsemen are getting very caught out, and sadly he has to pull out because he can't afford to get hit by another piercing bolts. And it does hit them enough to terrify these Empire Knights, but the Demigryph Knights get out scot-free. Over on this side, Outrider's still just probing, and Franz is so injured. He is super injured, and he's about to land again. The lunatic, the absolute lunatic. So he was going for Sartorial, but oh, he's in the air again. This is all a bit strange. This is all a bit strange, but he's getting caught up. There's too much stuff with mass here, and he only has 400 health left. I mean, I know there's only 500 on Sartorial, but look, there's Dragon Ogres and all sorts here. There's no cavalry helping out. Sure, it keeps these guys in this fight rather than aiding in this one, where, you know, we got some healing going on. The Chaos Trolls are getting butchered, but with Franz dead, that is very, very painful. Franz is a brilliant asset. And now over here, more piercing bolts, and you can see this is a very juicy blob of cav, most of which getting out of the way, but some terror is starting to hit, because their base leadership is going to be a lot lower now, because Karl Franz just died. So they're going to be far more prone to terrifying without the Lord alive. And none of the Chaos guys are going to terrify anymore, because there's no Karl Franz to terrify them. There's no terror left on the side of the Empire. So the Trolls are getting chased off by Pistoliers, which is brilliant use of Pistoliers. Once they've run out of ammo, just have them escort off breaking units. That's the way to do it. But here, Demigryphs with Halberds, still 16 models, which is 15 models, 14 mod, 13 mod, 12 mod. Alright, you know what? I give up. They're knackered, alright? They're really knackered. But high model counts, if they're able to keep the model counts high, great. But they are just so bogged down in here. Only 9 now. So yeah, they lost 6, I know, 7, 8. They've lost like 8 models just while fleeing, which is really bad. That's really bad. So the Empire is in disarray right now, just because Franz was getting far too eager to kill that bird. That simple. Franz far too eager. Gobbo, what were you thinking? Anyway, here you can see Demigryph Knights with Halberds, Demigryphs with Halberds, Demigryph Knights, Pistoliers, Outriders, Empire Knights, and of course the Jade Wizard, who can heal some of these guys up. You can see they're nowhere near the healing cap. Sadly, you know, model counts could be a bit higher, but they can still do some great work. Amazing, the Pistoliers, they've kept the Chaos Trolls broken, but haven't managed to actually shatter them yet, which is pretty funny. They're not the best unit, they're not the best in melee, but they will keep stuff broken at least. So here you can see a load of units lined up, and these guys start to push forward, but Sartorial only has 100 health. So you could trade Lord for a Lord very quickly if you can catch out Sartorial with basically anything here. Hell, I think even the Pistoliers could probably finish him off at this point. So that could work out pretty well. So, Dragon Ogres starting to push in, trying to catch out some Demis, and it looks like they did catch one out, but he's managed to survive. He's managed to survive. Running to the back of some Trolls, though. Now the Pistoliers are running in, they're going to pin things in place, and these Demigryphs with Halberds charging in from the other direction, and you can see that the Dragon Ogres are pretty much dead, and the Chaos Trolls are finally shattered. Sadly, one of the Demigryphs has gone, but that's one with Plague of Rust. Oh, they've all terrified. They've all terrified, but there's still some other Demigryph Knights. The ones with Halberds have all fled. One unit just shattered there, I think that was just Empire Knights, though, or possibly... yeah, it's just Empire Knights, it's fine. Don't... nope, that's them. Okay, maybe nothing shattered. Maybe nothing did. I think maybe I just missed a flag there. But anyway, yeah, they need to recover again. Plague of Rust is going to be pretty painful for them. 95 armor is still pretty good, but it still just means a little bit more damage that these Marauders can do. So you don't want to be in combat on that little health when you're a little bit more vulnerable. So the Chariots were pushing in to try and catch them out, and now they are getting attacked by the Demigryph Knights that don't have the anti-large, but at least they're good on the charge, and they do have the armor piercing they need. Now over here, the other Demis have charged in, and Sartorial only 20 health, and he is dead. The Demis managed to get him. So they can pull out again now. They have done some good damage to these Chaos Warriors. There's still some other Chaos Warriors ticking around, but now, you can see, Lord for a Lord. All the Lords are dead, so leadership is going to be just crap all around. just all around. But the Jade Wizard is staying in this fight. Another Earthblood is going to be able to negate a lot of the damage these guys are going to take from the Chaos Warriors, because they don't have the armor piercing and there's no more Plague of Rust to lower the armor on these units. So suddenly the Chaos Warriors are going to be a bit of a disadvantage. So more units being chased out, and now Pistolier is charging in the back just to keep these guys from pursuing or getting any hits. Knock a few of them down, you're sorted. Over here, more units being chased away by Outriders that again aren't great in melee, so just let them chase away fleeing units, make sure they can't come back. So over here, Chaos Chariot being pursued by the Jade Wizard, and it looks like these Pistoliers might be able to intercept him and keep him pinned for the Jade Wizard to get some hits in. Because the Jade Wizard, not a great duelist, but his weapon strength is pretty good. So, Demis now charging in the other way. Those Pistoliers broke. They're just Pistoliers, it doesn't matter. These guys routing and can now be chased off by the Outriders, but it looks like the Outriders want to get the rear charge on these Chaos Warriors to help break their leadership. So, one charge backwards to try and deal with the Chaos Chariot, and then you can charge again. So you're getting a charge bonus for attacking unit over here, then a charge bonus again going over here, and you can just yo-yo between units. And that is a great tactic, because you keep getting that charge bonus again and again, and that's where Cavalry has the best value. Certainly, Cavalry with like a 60 charge bonus, that's pretty damn high. You know, that's pretty good. So it means you're getting that extra 60 weapon strength and melee attack on the charge. That's what that means. So you're just yo-yoing back and forth with hugely better stats than you otherwise would. So using that space just to keep just nipping back and forwards. And every time you get these guys on the charge, chances are it's going to be in the rear because they're being attacked from every side. So as soon as you pull out one way, you've left a gap to then charge in again and hit them in the rear or flank again. So you can eventually whittle them down. Pyrrhic victory. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. So yeah, it had all the stuff you needed to defeat Chaos, right? Had all the things you needed. You know, you could change things up quite drastically. You know, you want armor piercing and anti-large, you go with halberds, or you go with great swords, things like that. You know, they will do similar roles, but you don't get to pick your engagements with units like that. Sure, you could use a load of guns, have a big line of guns, and then have, you know, halberds protecting it. But of course, spells are going to hit those cannons pretty easily and start whittling them down. Things like the Pistoliers, you could actually do a similar role of just pushing away things like the Marauder Horsemen and throwing axes, just with cheap spearmen. Just with cheap spearmen, that'll do. You know, there's loads of other things you can do here. But this has all the tools, but you've got to micro it like a champ. And that's the problem. If any of these get bogged down for too long, Plague of Rust hits them, they get surrounded by Chaos Warriors, and they get wiped out. It's that simple. You know, a couple of Trolls charge them at once, they get any of these units surrounded, they get wiped out, and there's a huge proportion of the army dead. I mean, we saw what happened to Franz. He got surrounded, and you could feel that. You could feel the cost of Karl Franz dying. And, you know, it's tough. It's tough. An army like this, you've really got to have your micro just perfected. You know, you can't make many mistakes at all. Any mistake is super punishing. And, I mean, Gobbo almost lost that in the end because he lost Franz. And that's the thing. With an army like this, it's got everything you need, but you've really got to bring some skill to use it right. You know, you can pick all the engagements, but that's still, you have to manage every single unit. Most armies, you have about 4 units that you really need to micro. Maybe a spellcaster, a lord, and 2 units of cav. That's all you really have to micro, you know, 100% of the time. The rest of them, it's just infantry. Once they're in the front line fighting, they're doing their job, and that's all you need to do. So really, you're microing 4 units most of the time in most armies. But in this one, you're microing all of them. So I don't recommend many people trying this, but it is a hell of a good way to practice your micro. If you think you want to tighten that up, just bring all cavalry armies and play like 10 games in a row like that, and I promise you'll be a lot quicker. And yeah, Gobbo did a great job here. Did an absolutely great job. And the Grand Poobah here, don't know if this is an alias or what, but Gobbo shows me this player is one that plays in tournaments. I don't know if this is an alias or not. He didn't actually tell me who it was, but hey, Grand Poobah, hey. Big fan. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.